Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Good morning, Dr. Blake. Sorry I'm running late.
Oh, no problem, Angie. It gave me a bit of time to review your research proposal.
Oh, good. So you had a chance to look at my proposal. And what'd you think?
Well, it's reasonably well presented. But if you really want to get that grant, I think you should explain how you're going to set up, get a more focused statistical analysis.
Oh, I hadn't really given that point much thought. 'Cause, frankly, I'm not so sure what the best way to go about it is.
Well, you really need to clear that up. Why don't you go to the computer center? You can tell the woman at the information desk, Miriam, I think her name is. Tell Miriam what you need, and she'll direct you to one of the statisticians there. You know, someone who can tell you the best way to set up your experiment in order to get your statistics in a meaningful form. Then that procedure needs to be explained in your proposal.
Okay. I'd better do that right away.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Proposals have to be in before the office closes on Friday, and you're going to want to have a clear idea of how you're going to deal with your data.
Thanks. Bye.
Just a minute, Angie.
Yes?
Before you go, there are a couple more points. Let's see. I wrote a couple of comments on this draft you gave me. Oh, here you are. My concern is how you've defined, or I should say haven't defined, your subjects. You mentioned that you'll be testing non-native speakers' linguistic recognition of certain English stress patterns, but you haven't clearly defined the group of subjects.
Well, I've made contact with a group of international students who are willing to work on the project.
Yeah, I know, but there are some issues that the committee will question. The proposal as you have it seems, well, somewhat like comparing apples and oranges. We've talked about your subjects being given an oral fluency test so that you can choose subjects with about the same linguistic level. But you haven't made that clear in your proposal. The committee will say that the data from, let's say, a tonal language speaker at a high level can't be compared to a Romance language speaker at a beginning level. The data would be ambiguous. You see, you need to explain how you're going to select your subjects.
You mean I should write more about the oral test we talked about?
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Blake. I have a class in 20 minutes, and I want to get to the computer center. It's on my way to the classroom building to set up an appointment. So could I come back around 3:30?
No, that's not a good time for me. Why don't you read through my comments and work through the explanation about subject selection? And would you have time to bring your next draft in first thing tomorrow morning? We could go over the final details quickly, and that would give you time to make any other necessary changes before turning it in.
Oh, I would really appreciate that, Dr. Blake. Thank you so much for your help. Bye.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 7. Why does the student go to see the professor? 8. Why does the professor suggest that the student go to the computer center? 9. According to the professor, what information should the student add in her proposal? 10. Why does the professor say this?
The proposal as you have it seems, well, somewhat like comparing apples and oranges.
11. What does the professor imply about the people who will decide on the grant money?